Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back to our YouTube channel once again. And it is my hope and prayer that this video is actually going to find you guys in good health. Personally, I am fine, as you can see. Kisumu is also fantastic, and maybe you could also let me know where you're watching the video from, the county or the country, in case you are out of the republic. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2022, against all odds, William Samoei Arap Ruto outwitted Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, who was then the sitting president, to be declared the president of the Republic of Kenya. But as things stand today, and I'm repeating it again, it's going to take a miracle for William Samoei Arap Ruto to win his re-election bid in 2027. But the biggest question that most Kenyans are asking is whether William Ruto will agree to hand over to whoever is going to defeat him in 2027. And yesterday, William Ruto attended the funeral or the burial ceremony of the father to the senator for Nyandarua. And William Ruto really attacked the judiciary. And the Daily Nation carried the story on their front page. This is what the Daily Nation carried. I will defy corrupt courts, Ruto. Then I made a post, Facebook post, using that headline. This is what I posted. Tell me if he will allow the Supreme Court to overturn his win in 2027. Ruto is setting the stage to take over the judiciary. The truth of the matter is that William Ruto has already captured the executive. Nothing can happen in the Republic of Kenya in the executive without William Ruto's approval. That's why he decided that all payments in this country are currently being channeled through one paybill number. And if you take the second arm of government, which is the legislature, parliament, William Ruto has already captured parliament. The truth is, we don't have a parliament in the Republic of Kenya today. What we have is an extension of the executive. Then the third arm of government, which William Ruto is also intending to capture, he has actually tried, but I think there was some fallout, is the judiciary. The truth of the matter is that questions are still being raised about the Supreme Court ruling of 2022. That's the fact. And even Raila Odinga alluded to that today. So William Ruto has not trained his guns on the judiciary because the judiciary has been declaring some of his policies unconstitutional. The housing levy, the health levy, and William Ruto is mad. And Otiende Amollo, the member of parliament for Rarieda, had this to say because he is pointed something which is going to form the basis of this analysis, and clearly in concurrence with what I stated earlier. Let me just get for you what Otiende Amollo posted earlier. This is what Otiende Amollo posted. William Ruto is coming out in his true colors. You know, William Ruto is one of the Nyayo guys. Court orders mean nothing to him. Hope Chief Justice Kome will reconsider the soft approach to this regime and assert the full authority of courts. If this is not done, he will rig in 2027 and disobey Supreme Court orders contrary. So the truth is, Otiende Amollo is alleging that if not checked, William Ruto is going to rig the 2027 election. Of course he's going to do that, but the will of the people might overpower him. But the issue is handing over. For William Ruto to hand over, it means the winner probably will go to court, or he will go to court. The Supreme Court will make a decision. That is where William Ruto is taking the war to. So in this video, I want us to do a critical analysis about William Ruto's latest attacks on the judiciary and what they are intended to achieve. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, allow me to dive in. But before we dive in, I want you guys to listen to William Ruto's statement.
Alafu, hiyo program yote, kuna watu wakora wachache wameenda kotini, wakakutana na wengine wakora huko kotini, ati wasimamishe waendelee kuiba pesa ya mambo ya afya. Hiyo mnataka tungojee hiyo maneno? Tuendelee na hii program ya universal health coverage? Tupunguze ile nini, tuendelee nayo? Bas, sasa maneno ndio hiyo. Sasa mambo ya watu wachache, people with vested interest, people who are beneficiaries of the corruption in the former NHIF, ganging up with corrupt judicial officials to stall the program that is going to make it possible for ordinary citizens to access healthcare, so that a few corrupt characters, hospitals, fake doctors, can continue to steal from NHIF. I want to tell them it will not happen in Kenya again, and we will stop it. We support the independence of the judiciary, but corrupt judicial officials working with those who vested interests that are benefiting from money stolen from NHIF, who want to perpetuate judicial tyranny and judicial impunity, we will deal with them. We will fight with them. We will not allow them. They will not go far. Mimi nataka niwatangazie mapema. Mimi ni mtu ambaye naamini mahakama. I respect the judiciary. I respect the independence of the judiciary. But I also believe that the judiciary cannot be abused by a few corrupt judicial officials.
No, that's William Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya. A man who has the instruments of power to fight corruption. Then listen in to his majority leader.
And ask our judiciary not to allow our judicial officers to be used by the economic saboteurs, those who want to sabotage that endeavor to ensure that we have collective economic prosperity. Let me ask our judicial officers not to allow themselves to be used by the cartels that are sabotaging the housing program, the program to ensure that all Kenyans access universal health coverage. Wale ambao wako kotini, Mheshimiwa Rais, ni wale ambao wamekuwa wakinufaika na uporaji wa pesa kutoka mpango wa NHIF. Ndio wameweka makesi kotini. Wale wengine unasikia, wale Ndindi Nyoro wameongea juu yao hapa. The masters and architects of state capture. Wale ambao walidhani ya kuwa Wakenya wataishi milele na milele kama slaves wao na familia zao. They are the ones today who are pushing the sabotage of the housing agenda. And Your Excellency, I said the other day,
the majority leader, of course, Ndindi Nyoro and other speakers also spoke about the same issue. So the truth of the matter is that Kenya Kwanza have started this year by attacking the judiciary. Are they going to succeed? The truth of the matter is that when William Ruto won the presidency, he became a darling of the judiciary. He even hired the 6 judges whom Uhuru Kenyatta had refused to hire. William Ruto went and announced that he was going to fund the judiciary. But that is not what we are witnessing.
For the avoidance of doubt, I reiterate my commitment and that of the government of Kenya to live up to our pledge to the people of Kenya that we intend to empower the judiciary and the criminal justice system as required by the Constitution, as well as respect the decisions and orders of the courts as they relate to the executive.
So the question is, what is William Ruto's interest with fighting the judiciary? Because the judiciary is supposed to be independent. The truth is, if there is any corruption in the judiciary, they must point them out. But it can't be that in this country, the only person who is always right is William Ruto, to an extent that if you hold a contrary opinion to his, then you are bad. But what is his intention? Number one, William Ruto wants to give the judiciary a bad name, that the judiciary is corrupt. And I'm glad that Raila Odinga has actually responded. Maybe I need to do an analysis about Raila Odinga's response, because when Uhuru Kenyatta started disobeying court orders during the handshake, Raila Odinga committed a mistake that the judiciary finally punished him for. He never raised his voice against Uhuru Kenyatta disobeying court orders. William Ruto wants to give the judiciary that bad name, that the judiciary is corrupt. William Ruto and his team are suggesting that those who have gone to court are doing so because of corruption. The truth of the matter is that if you look at that health case, the people who filed the petition were the doctors' union. Now, if the union of doctors, you are accusing the entire union of doctors, what's wrong with you? The other person who took Kenya Kwanza or William Ruto to court was none other than Okia Omtata. Now, can you accuse Omtata of state capture the way Kimani Ichung'wah was trying? So it's a war they won't be able to manage. Their intention is purely to give the judiciary a bad name, because we all know that indeed there are corruption in the judiciary. It is alleged that the Supreme Court judges were actually given money to make a ruling in favor of Ruto, if you were to go that direction. That the Supreme Court judges had approached Raila Odinga through Rafael Tuju to give Raila money, and Raila Odinga believed that he had he was going to win, that because Uhuru Kenyatta was in power, there was nothing this judiciary were going to do, so he refused. And when they left Raila's house, they went straight to William Ruto, and they were sorted with money. So the judiciary in this country, there are those stories that they are corrupt. Indeed, if you go to even these local courts here, there are cases of corruption in the judiciary. But William Ruto is the president, so he must use the law to punish those corrupt judges. Number two, William Ruto is also keen on taking control of the judiciary. How do you take control of the judiciary? You stamp your authority as the president. I'm sure some of these judiciary officials are going to find it very rough, because of course each one of us, we have some skeleton in the cupboards. So with the help of the deep state, they'll be able to pick a few skeletons on some of these officials, and they're going to find it very rough. So he wants to take the judiciary by force, and after taking control of judiciary, it means he will be calling the shots in the judiciary. One thing I'm still not very sure about is whether Martha Koome will still be there in 2027. If Martha Koome won't be there, rest assured that if a new Chief Justice were to be appointed, William Ruto is going to bring on board a Kalenjin to take charge, because he can only be sure of that. I listened to the former registrar of the judiciary, Anna Madi. She was like, there were attempts to kick her out because there are people who wanted to bring their people. Number three, William Ruto is also keen on disregarding the rule of law. So that next time, because some of these policies, William Ruto, you might have very good policies, very good agenda, but as long as they are not within the law, William Ruto himself has gone to Parliament to try and correct some of the challenges through parliament, because he cannot do it through the judiciary. He can only do it through parliament, which he controls. Then he's still accusing these guys, while he himself, by going through parliament to make those changes, he knows that there's a problem. So he wants to disregard the rule of law, so that next time he wants something, he will just get it. And lastly, William Ruto is keen on intimidating the judges of the judiciary into submission. He wants to force them to submit. I don't know whether they're going to give in, but the truth is, the judiciary also committed some mistakes. The first mistake they made was to go to bed with the executive. Judiciary should be independent. When Chief Justice started rushing to State House to attend meetings, to praise the executive, that was wrong. So they're already there. So this guy knows that they lost touch with the opposition, so they're on their own there. He also promised funding. William Ruto also promised funding to the judiciary. And that is exactly what he's using to fight the judiciary. And lastly, the judiciary is also supposed to be independent. By portraying them as corrupt, it means that independence is not there. So I'll be waiting to read the statement by the Chief Justice for now. Until that time, this is Lee Makwiny. Bye-bye.